Okay, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff. A really cool new strap showcase for you guys from Chronometer Check. A little bit about this brand. It's actually more so known for their social channels. And this particular creator is most known for his concise and insightful short form videos. Anthony started his YouTube review channel back in 2019, which over the years has grown its audience to over 350,000 viewers across all social platforms. Now, Anthony's expanded into opening a web shop where he's curated some of the very best straps, including select strap code metal bracelets, so not just straps. So a lot of different options, and he's, basically covering everything on the market, of course, based on his valuable wrist experience, right, as a YouTuber and a reviewer. So big shout out to Anthony and Chronometer Check Shop for sending over these new straps. They're actually a pretty cool new release here, guys. This is their Prestige Nylon strap lineup, and these go for $26. And essentially, the idea was to take the classic military nylon strap, or NATO style, and bring it to a new level. Crafted from a silky, soft, and thin woven nylon, it's exceptionally comfortable from the moment you put it on. Elevating the standard, of course, the Prestige boasts a luxurious look and feel. Its luster stands out from more rugged nylon options while maintaining a thin profile that avoids the bulk of thicker seatbelt straps. Now, today I'm really excited because their particular blue colorway actually perfectly matches the blue dial of my Seiko SLA039, which is literally grail level. I mean, this is, as far as I know, the most expensive mechanical Seiko has released in modern times. It's a high beat diver, and it is just absolutely majestic. But it has been really hard to pair it on different straps because of that blue is so particular. So for those of you that may have the SLA039 or another variation that has a very similar dial color, I will say that this particular colorway just matches it absolutely perfectly. So with that said, let's go ahead, zoom the camera out, get these straps in hand, and take a closer look. Okay, another huge shout out to Anthony and Chronometer Check. Cool little sticker that did come within the packaging with his logo. So we'll just push that off to the side and dive right into the strap that really has been the star of the show for me, which is going to be this beautiful blue NATO style strap. Now, the dial here, as you can see, there's a bit of color play, right? So it's hard to have something that's going to match that well. But the nice thing here is you can see the strap itself has a bit of color play in terms of that satiny sheen. You're going to get some darker tones and some brighter tones, not too dissimilar, of course, from the tones you're going to be able to pull off while, looking at this beautiful sun ray dial. Also, this does have an ever brilliant steel case, so it's much brighter, and there's a lot of beautiful, high polished Zaratsu polishing. And I have to say, the hardware here holds up. It's high polished hardware, and again, it holds up nice. You also do get that sliding keeper as well. You guys know I'm very, very particular when it comes to NATO style straps because I do have a larger wrist, and essentially a lot of straps end up being either too short in terms, actually just they're all were pretty much either too short to get the second fold over, right, when you want to tuck it back, or they're basically long enough to where they're still too short in terms of tucking anything back. So I know that's not going to make a lot of sense, but if you are an avid wearer of these style of straps, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and get this on the wrist and test how this lays on my, a slightly larger than average 7.5-inch wrist. So we'll go ahead and lay that here on top. And I know from looking at the numbers that essentially this isn't the full length that I would typically need. I would typically need something from 12 to 13 inches to really get it to seat really well on my wrist. But you never know, especially when there are different case lengths and widths and whatnot. So you can see here, it falls into, unfortunately, that kind of unperfect fit. But again, that is for my larger wrist, and it is quite thick as well. So, you know, unfortunately, this isn't going to be something, I love the color, I love the hardware, but the actual, let me give it a quick little wipe here, because that's part of having high polished hardware is going to be, of course, that you can get them pretty smudgy. But yeah, if this was a little bit longer, the nice thing is then I'd be able to tuck that back. The cool thing is they do have a sliding keeper here. So what you can do essentially is fold this and then move that. So if I tighten it up a little bit here, let's go one more notch tighter. What I could potentially do is slide this forward and then tuck this back in and have just a little bit. Of course, I'm gonna have to really fidget with this, and that is a drawback when you do have a larger wrist in terms of getting it perfect. So, I mean, I could do that. Not crazy about that. But again, I also understand that not everybody who watches my channel has the exact same wrist size. Most of you have smaller wrist sizes. And, you know, judging by, of course, the trends of watch sizes, a lot of people are into smaller wrists, shorter straps. I mean, other strap reviews I've done, where I've said, I wish the strap was a little longer. I know that some people will rejoice in having a shorter strap because they have a smaller wrist. So, you know, it's not perfect for me, but I mean, I can still definitely speak to the quality of the hardware, which is a huge player for me. Also, the choice and the selection of the actual material on these straps, which it does have that nice tight weave there, as you guys can see, often, you know, kind of likened to seatbelt weave, but sometimes they can be thick and they can be a little stiff. And when it comes to the nicer weaves that are going to be tight like this, the nice thing here is these are actually really, really pliable, very soft and very comfortable. So I dig that. Also, you're going to see fully milled hardware. Even this little finger here is going to be fully milled, which I can appreciate. And, you know, the nice thing about polish is it has a better likelihood of kind of going with everything, because yeah, you can bang it up or whatever, then it becomes patinaed hardware. You could give it a quick little brush with a scratch pad, and then all of a sudden it's satin brushed. So you know, I don't mind that as a choice either. I mean, it would be cool to have some options, but again, at $26, I mean, I've tried some very, very expensive NATOs, guys, upwards of hundreds of dollars. So they're out there. This right here, of course, for most folks is going to suffice, especially again, if you do have maybe a 7-inch or shorter wrist in terms of having enough material to fold back. Again, what we can do, of course, it'll be a little less awkward thanks to the magic, of course, of now it's not on my wrist. Now you guys can see what you potentially can do here is you're going to take this now and feed that back in. And boom. So very cool. So that's essentially how it's going to lay on most people's wrists, which is going to be the traditional nylon style, the NATO style. Of course, it's been trademarked, but I can speak on it because I'm a reviewer. I'm not trying to sell you anything. So you're going to get that dual pass, which means that the watch itself isn't going to be able to slide off because it has that extra keeper there. Of course, it does add a little bit of thickness. And again, this is a thick, chunky watch, guys. Look at that monoblock case. So if it wears comfortably on something like this, which is going to be again on the outer reaches of what some people even consider wearable, it's absolutely wearable for me. And you know, it's part of how eccentric it is in those ways in terms of wearability, are one of the reasons why I enjoy it so much. But you can see that here. What I've seen some brands do also is they'll have this be a fixed keeper and then they'll move that one, and I kind of prefer that. So I would love to see them do maybe another variation. You know, either one, they can leave it exactly as is, but then if they just made it a little bit longer, that'd be great. Or they could actually go shorter. And the nice thing is if you keep this as a fixed keeper, you know, it's always nice to have a little bit more stability right near the buckle, because that can tend to kind of flop up. So I like to have that secured. And then if this one can actually move, the nice thing is if you do a shorter one, then you can actually move this. And then if there's a shorter tongue, then essentially, right, you'd be able to dial that in. So let's say if we had it like this, right, you could have it to where it just lines up with the end there, and you could scoot that slightly forward, right? Or you could scoot it slightly back if you had less. So yeah, that's just kind of my general feedback. You know, no product is perfect because everyone has different needs and wants. So there's going to be tons of people, of course, I think the general market that are looking for, you know, of course, that tight weave, nice, solid hardware, you know, beautifully finished at a very affordable price, $26 a pop. I mean, you also got, beautiful kind of modern Bond style here. You got a new take on that, kind of a reverse, which is pretty cool too. I think this goes great with, you know, pilot style watches. Then, and yeah, they're also available in different widths, guys. Just so the 18, 20, and 22. I think this is the only 22 that got sent over. The others were in 20. So this would look great on something like a Turtle or an SKX with those 22 millimeter lugs. But you can see this looks fantastic. I love a good gray NATO. And then of course they have the tan. This is great for field watches and also flight watches and anything honestly that has a more of a warmer kind of patina style loom or typeface to it, I think would look great on this. And you guys know that this is also another kind of favorite color for the channel in terms of other straps that I've tried. So great colors, again, great pricing. And then the cool thing is these were developed by a fellow, you know, YouTube aficionado. So I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, he's reviewed tons of straps and then he creates a web shop. I mean, he's living the dream, right? So he finds really cool stuff, curates it, puts it on his shop. And then at the same time, he's been able to source some of his own, you know, kind of chronometer check branded stuff. So I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. It works really well for my SLA039 in terms of the colorway. Now the length here isn't perfect, but you know, I can work with it. I would probably just more so be inclined to leave this down here and then untuck this little piece, or I could fold it inwards, which also works. Not perfect for me, but you could do that, or I could just wear it a little bit looser and try to shorten up that. So like the cool thing here is like you can see, even if he made this a fixed one and then made this one be able to actually be the sliding keeper, I could potentially slide it a little bit further and have it stay. But honestly, I don't mind if this look too much. So we'll see how long I'm able to keep it on here. I normally keep this on a rubber dive strap, but I have to say the color match on here is really, really something special. So I dig that. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. You know, I know there's tons. Oh, that's stuck. Sticker stuck to my arm. Chronometer check. Thanks. So I know that there's tons of options that are out there. The nice thing is, you know, with manufacturing and, you know, all of the modern niceties, now you're starting to be able to get stuff like this of a very, very high quality for, yeah, not too much, $26 a piece, which definitely is not the most expensive. It's not the cheapest, but again, there's nothing that's cheap about these in terms of their construction, in terms of their hardware, in terms of their choices that they made on, you know, what is really, really a just quite a premium offering. So again, premium looks and feel, and it's not overly stiff, which is great because again, sometimes when you get brands that will really focus on that very premium execution, sometimes it's premium in the way that it looks and necessarily not in the way that it wears. Here you're going to get something that of course from a reviewer standpoint is meant to be worn. So these are all definitely meant to be worn. I dig it, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What are some changes you might make? What are some brands or, you know, different models and little nifty tricks that you found in terms of getting the best fit for you when it comes to NATO style straps? So let me know it down in the comments below. If you like the video, please do it like, and if you're already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.